Big warning here, if you do not prep yourself in advance before you sleep with a girl, you could literally alter the course of your life forever. Don't believe me? Well, listen up. So let's make sure that you are safe in this process. Number one, and this one's a little tricky, but you got to be careful. And sometimes it's hard to get past this, but you have to make sure you're not with a woman who is crazy. There's a famous saying, don't stick your D in crazy. Well, that is absolutely true, because once you sleep with the woman, she becomes very attached with you. Oxytocin from your brain starts to release, and the bonding between two people start to form. So if you start to bond with a woman, or a woman feels bonded to you who has a couple of screws loose and has some mental illnesses or has some issue or is super jealous or who knows, then you're going to be in trouble, because she can cause issues in your life. So you need a filter for these women. You have to understand who you're going on a date with and who you're meeting. You have to look for the red flags. Is she someone who's a heavy drinker and likes to do a lot of drugs, smokes a lot of cigarettes, is completely covered in tattoos, has super religious beliefs or super liberal or super conservative beliefs? Anyone who is on the extreme level can show you the signs that they might be a little cuckoo.
What?
And I don't care how attractive this woman is, you do not want to sleep with her. Gentlemen, live in abundance. Number two, you have to find out if she's on the pill. I highly recommend that you don't sleep with anyone who is not on birth control. This is going to help give a larger barrier for you for anything to happen that could be an accident, like I said earlier, that could alter the course of your life, because in some states we do not have any control over what happens once you get pregnant, and most of the time it's going to be up to the woman. So understand your risk if she is not on birth control, and what could happen if she's not on birth control and you decide not to use a condom and it's feeling good and you're having a good time, and you find out eventually that she became pregnant. Number three, make sure, and I know this sounds lame, and I even feel lame saying something like this, but it's still so important. You need to be asking for consent. Now, the reason why it sounds a little lame is just because you think that things should happen naturally and you don't want to interrupt the mood, but none of that matters. The mood will come back. Okay, so even though you're going to be asking for consent before you guys actually sleep together, it's not going to kill any sort of desire that she has for you. In fact, a lot of women find it more attractive when you're actually asking for consent. So make sure that that's happening. And a little sub point to this is, don't be sleeping with any woman who has had more than 1 or 2 drinks tops. You don't want to have any issues down the line if something happens, because it's her word against yours. I know that so far some of these things don't sound so practical, like, yeah, right, okay, this is the real world trip. I'm really going to be doing all these things before I make sure I sleep with the girl. Well, you don't have to, but I'm going to be telling you that the risks are there and you should be cautious of what can happen if you don't. Don't shoot the messenger. Number 4, on a little bit of a lighter note, make sure that you are hygienic. And I don't just mean you've brushed your teeth and put on deodorant, although those things are very, very important, but make sure you got some hygiene going on down there, because sometimes when we've been sitting around all day, you've been on a long date with the girl and you've been sweating, it might smell a little bad. I highly recommend that you do what you need to do to trim down there, to keep it hygienic. There's all sorts of products that you can use to make sure things smell well and are well groomed. And you want to do that so she has the best experience, and also you do too, because if you take off your pants and all of a sudden you smell something funny, you're going to get in your head and it's going to totally interrupt the nice experience that you're about to have. Number 5, it's a little bit more obvious, but I'm going to go deeper into this, no pun intended. You got to use a condom or have a condom, but that's not really the tip here. Again, no pun intended. The tip is, I don't want you to even be finishing inside of a condom. I know that sounds really extreme, and I said earlier that she should be on birth control. So do I really have to take those extra measures? Well, no, of course, you don't have to, but you should understand the risk if you don't. And although the risk might be small if you finish inside a condom and she's on birth control, can you imagine the consequences if something actually does happen, something breaks, the pill doesn't work, and now, like I said earlier, you've altered the course of your life forever, potentially. And then before you sleep with the woman, well, how do you know that she's actually interested in you? How do you know that she even wants to sleep with you and you've built sexual tension? I have a video here on the screen that's going to show you and teach you the signs of sexual tension, so you know how to move things further with her and actually go into the bedroom. Watch that to learn how. And if you're still struggling to get women and you just want to get to the point where you're actually sleeping with a woman, go over to tripadvicecoaching.com, where thousands of guys are working with my coaches and they've learned how to meet women online and offline and get to the point where they are sleeping with the women and dating the women that they actually want.